Okay, what we're going to look at today is working with integers, adding integers, okay? And there's some confusing parts to this, so you need to listen well. Mr. Redinger is going to be in today. I'm going to be down in the office, so this is the lesson. I'm going to give you your assignment when I'm done talking about this, so listen carefully. And I'm actually going to give you a few answers to some of the questions you'll have on your assignment today. Okay, if we take a look at the first part of this, the first thing you got to be able to do is add integers with the same signs. Okay, and what you do is you add them up and you put the sign of whatever ones you're adding. Okay, so in this case here, very basic problem, 8 plus 1, okay, they have the same sign, they're both positive. This equals, obviously, 9. Same rules apply for negative numbers, all right? You add them up and your answer is negative. So in this case here, 3 plus 4 is 7, and they're both negative, so my answer is negative 7. Here, negative 7 plus negative 2, we add them up, my answer is negative 9. All right? Those shouldn't give you any trouble. Okay, now, a little more complicated here is when you have to add integers with different signs. We got addition, we got a positive number, we're adding a negative number to it. All right, now using a number line. The book will talk a lot about using a number line. And with the number line, here's how they do it. And I'm not going to put a lot into this, but it might help you to understand it better. You start with 0. Anytime that you're adding or subtracting using a number line, we start with 0. But in this case here, we're adding, we start here at 0. So here's my starting point. My first number is positive 1, so I move right here to positive 1. Now, I got to add negative 4 to it. Well, negative 4 is in to the left, in the negative direction. So now I got to come back 4 places. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and that puts me right here at negative 3. So the answer to this problem is equal to negative 3. And that's adding integers using a number line. Okay, now you don't want to have to draw a number line for every time you're going to add integers that have different signs. So here's the process that you want to use. Okay, you subtract the absolute values of the numbers. Now that's confusing to a lot of you, I know it is. But here's what it comes down to. The absolute value of 5 is 5. The absolute value of negative 2 is 2. Remember, absolute value is how far a number is from 0 on a number line. That's all it is. That's the definition. It's never negative because it's just how many places it is from 0. So now, by using this, we subtract this. Okay, we get an answer of 3 when we subtract it. Now, the other rule is okay, what sign do we put with this number? We put the sign of the number with the larger absolute value. 5 is a larger absolute value. 5 is greater than 2. We look at 5. 5 is a positive number. Okay, so our answer stays positive. Our answer is 3. Okay, another thing that might help you is to just think of it this way. If it's a positive plus a negative, subtract and put the sign of the number that's furthest from 0. That's what you're doing. Okay, on this one here, 4 plus negative 8. Okay, so I have to subtract the numbers, all right, which is going to be 4. When I subtract 4 from 8, I get 4. All right, now, what number is further from 0, 4 or negative 8? Negative 8 is further from 0. This is the sign that I need. I need the negative sign. My answer, the 4 plus negative 8 is negative 4. Somewhat confusing. The more of these you do, the better you'll get. Remember, the odds are in the back of the book. Check your work, make sure you're doing them right. Okay? All right, here's a different look. Now we have 3 integers, and we're adding them together. When you have 3 integers, what you want to do, or 4, you might have 4 or 5 integers to add together, is add the ones with the same signs first. Okay, and get it down to a single step problem then. So add -2 plus -7. And if you remember earlier in the lesson, that's equal to -9. All right, so now here is my problem. 4 plus -9. Now I have a positive plus a negative. I have to subtract. The difference between 4 and 9 is 5. Okay, but now I gotta put the correct sign. Is it a -5 or is it a +5? Well, what number is further from 0? Is 4 further from 0 or is -9 further from 0? On a number line. -9 is, so that's the sign I need. The correct answer to this problem up here, okay, 4 plus -2 plus -7 is -5. All right? Okay, one final thing you're going to have on your assignment today is you're going to have some of these with absolute value signs. These are absolute value signs, remember. Okay, so whatever we get in here, it's going to be a positive answer because absolute value is never negative. It's how far a number is from 0 on a number line. Okay, so -4 plus 15. I use the same method I just used. I have to subtract because it's a negative plus a positive. Okay, so when I subtract, I get 11. What number is further from 0? -4 or 15? 15 is further from 0, it's positive 15, so my answer stays 11. Same situation over here. -2 plus 11, okay, I subtract, I get 9. What number is further from 0? -2 or 11? Well, 11 is, so 11 is positive, so my answer stays positive. And even if I got a negative here, it would go to positive because it's absolute value. These are absolute value symbols. So you're going to have a few on your homework that are going to look like this. Very doable. Okay, you're going to work your way through them a little bit, and you'll be fine. Okay? Now, what you're going to end up on your assignment today, okay, is going to come from it's going to come from page 72 and 73. Okay, and you're going to end up doing 1 through 32. Okay, now, I did a few for you actually. Okay, if you were paying attention to this lesson pretty well, especially the last couple I did, those were actual problems right out of the book, right out of your assignment. Okay, now once again, remember the odds are in the back. Use it correctly. Look back there after you do the problem to make sure that you're doing them correctly, thinking about them right. Also, look at the key concepts. The key concepts within the lesson, okay, which is found, you know, on page 70, 71. In those areas is where you're going to find those key concepts. They have nice little example problems within them. Use that. Okay, read through that if you're confused a little bit, and you should be fine.